cauliflower. I actually make that quite often. Yeah, so, and I just enjoy raw vegetables in general, but I thought, oh, this would be a good low carb alternative today. So we're going to start by chopping up our cauliflower. So you got your head. Actually, should we make sure everybody has, Teresa, are you the only one cooking with us today? Okay. You got your head of cauliflower?
Yeah, I already chopped it up.
Oh, you're ahead of me. Good. Well, you'll have to watch it chop a little bit. Do you have an onion? Did you get that chopped up already?
No, not the onion chopped up.
All right. If you want to work on, so the first step is to chop up your cauliflower, and we're going to let that boil on the stove for about 5 minutes. Everybody kind of always asks me how to cut a cauliflower. I take the stem off, and then I just sort of trim right around the edge, and it just kind of allows the cauliflower to fall on the, actually this isn't a cutting board that I'm using, but this kind of allows the cauliflower to fall off in pieces if you trim around the stem. But you guys might have better. And did you guys know you can actually eat like this portion? I've never done that. I give it to my guinea pigs, but I don't eat it. So my guinea pigs get quite the healthy diet at home because we're constantly making vegetables. So they get a lot of my leftover vegetables. So I think this says to do chopped. So yeah, so we're going to chop this up a little bit.
I've done the stalk of broccoli, which is very similar. Just sort of shave it and then chop it, shave off the real bitter part on the outside and then chop it up with a broccoli salad, a little mayo, whatever in there. And it's very good. It's very good. And then you're not wasting that you paid for at the store.
I'm chopping this in pretty little fine pieces. But it's really, there's not really a method to it. Just kind of chopped all up.
Yeah, your recipe says 1/2-inch pieces. That's pretty small. Is that really what you're doing?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing, is about 1/2-inch pieces. Can you guys see that on here?
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
Small.
I don't think
I did mine quite that small.
And I think that's okay. You know, there's different textures for potato salads too, right? Some potato salads are a little more chunky with bigger pieces of potatoes, and some are not. So I don't think it really matters. But about like that.
It'll kind of fall apart too as you cook them.
Yes. You know what? We'll even throw some stem in here today. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't really, I always say cooking, you know, you look at the recipe and you do what it says, but you can also kind of modify it. I don't know. I'm one of those people that I'll try to change things up on a recipe, and sometimes it works for me and sometimes it doesn't.
Yep.
And then I have friends that follow the recipe to the T, right? Like they're like, oh, got to stick very closely to that recipe. I think baking sometimes is a little more that way because you have to have like exact.
Yeah, you can't really fudge on baking.
Yes. But things like this, there's a little more room for error.
I'm going to back it up so you can watch for anybody else joining.
Getting all squared away here. All right. So this is going to go in our pan. Like so. All this yummy goodness. All right, and I'm just gonna cover this ever so slightly with water. So you don't wanna, you know, fill your pan all the way up, but just right above the cauliflower, basically.
Well, we don't have lids here at the senior center, but if you had a lid for your pot, you could just put a tiny bit of water and steam it more than cover it with water to cook it.
If I would have thought this through, I probably would have brought my steamer today and just thrown it in my steamer, cooked it in the microwave. That's what I have, a steamer for the microwave, and I would have done it that way. So this will probably take about 5 to 7 minutes or so. So I'm going to put this on the stove and let the broccoli, once the broccoli comes to a boil, you're supposed to let it boil for about 5 minutes. But yes, that would be another way to do it.
Oh, there's somebody else. Hi, Rich.
I'm going to make sure I remember. All right, in the meantime, we can work on chopping everything else up. So I have 4 boiled eggs here. So we're going to want to peel our eggs. Hi, Rich. How are you?
I'm just fine.
Good. So we just got done chopping the cauliflower, the head of cauliflower, and we put that in a pan and put that on the stove. We're going to bring it to a boil, and then we're going to let the cauliflower boil for about 5 minutes. We were also saying you could always put it in a steamer, like a vegetable steamer. I have one that goes in the microwave, and it, you know, sometimes I'll just do that with my vegetables to make the whole process a little bit quicker. So right now I'm just peeling 4 boiled eggs that I had. And if anybody has good secrets on how to boil eggs, they can share them with me, because I often find that my shells stick to my boiled eggs. But
I've heard so many different things. Put a little baking soda in your water.
That one had moisture in it. I just sprayed myself in the face. I'll be right back.
Put a little moisture in it. I've heard, you know, cook them in the boiling water and then quick put them in ice bath. I don't know. I've tried it all and I haven't had success. I think the eggs that are more fresh, when you buy them, they peel a lot more. They're more difficult to peel than eggs that are not quite as fresh.
I have an apron on. I'm actually wearing a dressy shirt today. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your egg thing.
And don't forget to rinse your eggs so you don't get crunchy eggshells in your egg cell.
You never want to have the crunchy eggshell. Is not the most appealing thing. I had my son boil me. So we eat a lot of boiled eggs in our house. They're a great snack to have on hand for that protein. So I don't know if any of you eat boiled eggs for a snack, but they're always a really good, healthy choice. These are just not peeling very well. Well, that's a huge bummer, but that's okay. Maybe we'll add one extra one if we have to. This is not a Martha Stewart show. She would not have her eggs looking ever so funky, but you know. All right, one more here. And it's beautiful outside today. The sun is shining. It's very lovely out. All right, I'm just gonna go rinse these off quick and get all the shells off.
Well, Elisa was talking earlier about she sometimes just kind of looks at a recipe and kind of decides if she's wanting to do it that way or not. I'll do a recipe. If it's something new to me, I'll make it follow the recipe to a T first. And then I kind of decide afterwards. Yeah. Like for me, I love eggs. So I might add more than 4 eggs to my potato salad.
Absolutely.
You know, or less. Maybe people don't like that as much, or maybe they just use the egg whites and not the egg yolks. I mean, you can really have fun in the kitchen and make it unique to you. You know, if you're watching your cholesterol, maybe you take that egg yolk out. You decide.
So next we are gonna cut up our pickles, or I have just these plain kosher dill, but you could also do like a sweet pickle, or like a relish, a sweet relish, a dill relish. So, but today I'm gonna be using some dill pickles. So it says about a 3/4 cup, I think. So you just kind of have to decide for you. I actually think 3/4 cup might be a little much, so I might go a little less than that, but it's up to you. If you really like pickle or relish, feel free to throw that in there, but I'm just, again, chopping up the pickle. I do love pickles. Actually, these might be a sweet. No, do they say? No, they're a dill. And some people like dill pickles and some people like sweet pickles. So if you have a preference of which one you like more, that might be what you would want to pick to throw in your salad.
Well, and sometimes too, it depends on the season, right?
Yes.
If it's summer and there's more stuff readily available at the market, you might pick those pickles over the jarred pickles or whatnot.
Yeah. I'm actually going to put these pickles just right in here because we're going to end up mixing all this stuff together. I'm putting my pickles inside my plastic bowl. I could probably add one more. We'll stick one more in there. This is the number one way that I get my kids to eat sandwiches is add a pickle to their sandwich. They like pickles in their sandwich. I don't know why. And actually, we can take those eggs too and chop those up.
So, Elisa, the recipe in the Chronicle said, or sauerkraut.
Yes. Oh, I forgot to mention that. Yes, you could do sauerkraut too, which I thought was kind of interesting. It would give it a different flavor for sure.
Absolutely.
You have sauerkraut? Is that what you're using, Therese?
Well, I have sauerkraut, but I think I'll use pickles.
I'm dropping eggs on the floor. So I'm on a roll.
I think the thing with sauerkraut, I mean, I think people have a love or hate relationship with sauerkraut.
Yeah.
And it's so strong.
It is so strong.
That, you know, my suggestion would be make it not with sauerkraut and see how you like it first. And then, you know, if you do love sauerkraut, just add a little at a time because it would take over the flavor of the.
Right.
Yeah. You know, but the cauliflower is a little bit more bland. So
I'm adding the egg to my pickle.
To each his own.
Yes, that's right. And that's the wonderful thing about what we're doing today. There's so many things you could do or take away or add. Like, I feel like the possibilities are endless. I'm debating on putting one more. I think I'm going to put one more egg in mine. You guys get to watch me crack another egg. Maybe this one will do better.
Are there other things that people put in their typical, you know, summer potato salad that you might think about putting in here?
You could even add vegetables.
Yeah,
I know that sounds weird, but you could throw in tomatoes or cucumbers. I'm all about putting vegetables in anything that I eat because I have a hard time getting the amount of vegetables in that I'm supposed to eat in my day. So I add vegetables to everything, but that's just me. All right, next is our onion. Looks like 3 tablespoons of red onion. So whatever you feel, and again, if you like a little more onion, feel free to add a little more onion. My mask is like itching. Oh, all right.
Yeah, I love onion, and onion is so good for you that I might put a little more in.
Yeah. I don't know if that's enough. I think that's 3 tablespoons.
Probably.
Maybe. I think the purple onions like this, red onions, purple onions, whatever you want to call them, are the best flavor. But that's just me. And if you plant these in a garden, holy cow, are they like, you don't need a lot when you plant them in a garden. I feel like they just come out so yummy tasting. You're going to want your onion kind of fine.
Yeah, so depending on where you shop during the season, you might not be able to find a red. So maybe you use a sweet onion, or maybe you use just a white onion.
Yep, you could use a white onion. Yeah, and sometimes I'll use whatever onion I have lying around the house. Right? It really doesn't matter. Like, oh, I don't have the red onion. I can't make this today. Oh, yeah, you can. Just use another one that you have. So I'm getting this all chopped up, my onion. At home, I have a chopper that I use. This knife isn't super sharp, so, which is probably a good thing since I'm doing a demonstration. All right, we're gonna throw this in. Here goes our onion. Yeah, is our cauliflower boiling yet? So far I've got the pickle, the egg, and the onion all in my lovely bowl here. I could eat just that, you guys. I'm so weird. I just yummy. All right, we're gonna add 2 teaspoons of mustard. And I'm gonna just guess on what 2 teaspoons of mustard is. Now, this is another thing. I like my salads a little more mustardy, but other people might not like as much mustard, right? So we're gonna add 2 teaspoons of mustard. I just have this standard yellow mustard because we don't really eat a ton of it in our house. I add it mostly just to salads. All right, so we're gonna take a guess. 1, 2. Perfect, right? If we need more, we can add that. All right, next we have 1 teaspoon of any light color vinegar. Today I actually have apple cider vinegar because that's what I had laying around my house. So again, vinegar goes a long way. So I would err on the side of less, and you can always add more. So here's 1 teaspoon. What do you think? Is that enough? Rich, should I add a little more? He's like, I don't want to be the one.
That's good to me.
He's like, don't ask, I'm just watching. All right, there's our vinegar. And then we're gonna add half a cup of plain yogurt. So I just have this Chobani Greek yogurt, just like this. Now the question is this considered 1 cup? So maybe I should do half this, right?
How many ounces is it?
Doesn't say. You see it on there? Oh, 5.3. What do you think?
So it's not 1 cup.
Oh, it's not. Oh, that's right. It's not 1 cup. So I could probably use this whole thing, right?
How much is it?
Or it's half cup. We're going to use the whole thing. Well, it's Greek. Maybe we should go a little less than all of it. Let me get a spoon.
When I'm adding dressing to something, I don't like a lot of heavy dressing on my whatevers. And so I add a little and then a little more, just so everything is coated.
And I would say stir your yogurt really good. So we're gonna go, I'm not gonna put quite this whole thing in there. Because I'm with Steph. I err more on the side of like less is more and you can always add more. There's my yogurt. Everybody still with me? Therese, you still with me over there?
Yep.
All right. Next, we're going to do, so it calls for a 4th cup of avocado oil mayo. I did not have avocado oil mayo at home. So I'm just using regular mayo, but you could use whatever mayo you wanted to. They also have dairy-free versions of mayo. So there's lots of choices out there. This is what I had at home today. And again, I'm just going to sort of guess on this, but I'm going to wipe this off first.
Well, that would be another good thing to cut in chunks or cubes for the potato salad would be avocados.
And I wonder if you even need the mayo because we have the Greek yogurt in there. But I think you get that little flavor. I agree. Okay, so we're going to do about a 4th cup of mayo. And again, I'm guessing we're going to do about that. All right, what's next? Ooh, salt and pepper. I got to go grab some salt and pepper. I'll be right back. I think we have some over here up in our cupboard. Perfect. Salt and pepper always make things taste a little good, right? I watch how much salt I put in things. This is calling for, so usually what I'll do is if it calls for a teaspoon, I will actually do a little less than that. And here it just says black pepper to taste. So it's really what you prefer, but I'm just gonna kind of measure in my hand how much I think. Maybe a little bit more. I'm just gonna sprinkle that over. And then I love pepper. I do, I love pepper, especially when you can grind it yourself. Throw some pepper in there. All right, I think we have everything in there. Let's check our recipe. Yeah, so we're basically just waiting on the cauliflower to boil. But in the meantime, I'm gonna mix this together. So you can see I'll bring it over there, we're gonna see it a little bit better. The concoction, can you see it? Doesn't it look pretty? So many colors. All right, we're gonna mix that together. See what we got going on. Ooh, it's looking good. I'm boiling? All right. I think our cauliflower, it just started to boil?
It's
done. Oh, perfect. All right. So we're going to strain the cauliflower, and then we're going to add it to our mixture. All right, we'll be right back. Out the excess water from the cauliflower. All right. We are going to dump this cauliflower right into our concoction. Teresa, is your cauliflower cooked?
Yes.
Awesome. You ready to add with me?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. Woo!
So even though it's hot, you just, oh, because that'll make the flavors, right?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
It's hot cauliflower, so it'll absorb the flavors better, right?
Yes. Actually, thank you. Yes, you are absolutely right. Adding the cauliflower hot will absorb the flavors. And they actually tell you to leave this in your fridge for 30 minutes. So that really helps to, this actually looks amazing.
Yeah.
It looks like potatoes are in there and they're not. And it's all low carb. Now, I personally think a sweet relish in here would have made it yummy too. So, but it smells good.
I bet you could serve this at a picnic and nobody would know.
Nobody would know. I want to show you guys what this looks like. Maybe Steph can bring that, computer up real close.
All right, I'm going to eat some.
Look how messy I am. I'm the messiest chef. Like I create at home. I mean, I drop stuff on the floor, everything. So here is can you guys see that? All right, I'm going to sample it. I should have, Stephanie does not do dairy. So she would have added probably a different mayo and a different yogurt if she would have done it. What would you have done with that stuff? Like if you had to substitute?
Yeah, we use at our house, we use veganese. I probably, instead of yogurt, I probably would have mashed an avocado and used that as a dressing mixed with a veganese.
Oh, yeah. Very good flavor.
But the nice thing about the Greek yogurt, it has the protein. There's nut yogurts out there. We have cashew milk yogurt. There's coconut yogurts, but they're just, everything has just a little bit different flavor. If you're going for a basic potato salad, you want sort of a neutral flavor, but avocados are kind of neutral too, I think.
Well, anybody that's watching, if you want to come to the drive-through, I will scoop some in a small container for you and you can take it.
There you go.
It is very tasty. Yeah, what did you say, Rich?
That's great.
I seriously will. If you want to drive over here, I'll scoop you some.
Okay.
It tastes like texture-wise, I feel like the consistency is very similar to the potato. So I'm very impressed with this. I've made this, not this particular recipe, but I've done this like 1 or 2 other times, and it always surprises me how you don't even notice the potato not in there.
Well, and I think after you refrigerate it too for a little while, it's even going to have that more, the mayo will solidify a little bit and just feel even more like potato salad.
Yeah, and I looked up like some facts on cauliflower, so just some interesting stuff. So cabbage and kale are related. I don't know if you guys knew that. I think so. Oh, and Brussels sprouts. So kale, broccoli, and Brussels sprouts are all in that same category with cauliflower. So they're kind of all that similar. They call it the plant species Brassica. I don't even know how you say that.
I don't know. I call them cruciferous, but
cruciferous. Yeah. yeah, there was, and they said you could eat the stem, you can eat the leaves. So, you know, we probably could have chopped those up and thrown those right into our cauliflower.
Be sure you wash the stems really well.
Yes.
If you're going to eat, or peel off, like chop off the outer edge and then use the inside part.
Yeah.
Not as rooty.
Yeah, absolutely. Cauliflower comes in different colors, orange and purple, and green, actually. So I thought that was really cool. It had a single floret contains 10% of your daily vitamin C that you need. So that's actually a big deal. You get a lot of vitamin C from cauliflower. That's also a good thing to know. Cauliflower is hard to grow. So if you want to grow it in your garden at home, according to the statistics on the internet, it's very hard to grow at home. Does it grow above? It grows in the ground.
Put above ground.
Yeah.
I think like broccoli
would come up. Oh, I do. So I do remember having a garden a couple years back, and a friend of mine grew cauliflower, and it grew more almost like in a stalk kind of. So it was a little bit harder to grow, but and steaming it. Oh, when you steam it, it preserves the most of the nutrients. So that's good to know too. I do personally love my steamer. I almost like it more than boiling vegetables on the stove, because I do think it helps to keep those nutrients in just a little bit more. Yep, the stems and leaves are edible. We've discussed that already. The history is uncertain of cauliflower. So if you need to know more about the history, you can research that. Sunlight gives it the yellow tint, and a large cauliflower has less calories than a muffin. Well, we all knew that, right? So you can just sit down with a whole head of cauliflower and it's way less calories than a muffin. So just some interesting facts about cauliflower. But the one that I learned the most from this was the vitamin C. I didn't realize how much cauliflower gives you good vitamin C. So on that note, does anybody want to come pick some up? I'll put it in a little container and save it for you in the fridge.
Rich is my own.
Yep, she's got her own.
Or we could save it for next week too.
Yep, for sure. Well, I appreciate you guys doing virtual cooking with us today. And if you have suggestions for future cooking classes, let me know. How you doing, Jill?
Hi, Jill.
I used some sauerkraut.
Oh, yeah. Did you use sauerkraut for yours?
It was a sweet one that had some caraway seeds in it, and also some little bacon bits.
Oh, bacon bits would be a great idea.
It turned out good.
Nice.
That sounds amazing. I know there's like a German potato salad. So that sounds similar to something like that. Like when you threw in the sauerkraut and the bacon, it made it like a German potato salad, right? Because some people like German, some people like more like the traditional with the eggs and the mustard. So you really could switch it up.
Well, and sauerkraut's so good for you.
Yes, and sauerkraut is very good for you.
If you eat it.
Yeah, if you eat it, right. I like sauerkraut.
I do not.
Yeah. So
neat.
Any other questions today?
Thank you.
This was fun.
Did you feel like yours tasted good, Therese? I forgot to ask.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Did you use like different stuff from what I use? Like, did you use a yellow mustard?
Yes, I used the yellow mustard, and I added more. And I used dill pickles.
Okay.
Other than that, I think it's everything you did.
Good. Good. Well, enjoy. You'll have it for the weekend, and you won't feel guilty eating it because it's low carb. So anyways, thank you so much for joining me today, and have a wonderful weekend.
Yeah.
Happy sunshine. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye, ladies.
Thanks.